All right, Swain Batty League, welcome back to the SBL. I am AZS0, and I am here with the one and only Mr. the Xmas Tree. Tree, welcome. How you feeling?
Good. Wondering if we're gonna finally, or not finally, they do have one loss.
Shall I
See
turn
if
in my
high
badge and
expectations
rifle as well?
can be knocked further off their starter pedestal, and see if people are still very high on the Splinter team.
Yeah, this should be a super interesting matchup. A couple of things to note here, since we still have this enemy 1 through 5 issue on the side of the red team. Crank back in the lineup, Numbnuts back onto the bench for this team. If you were watching last week, you saw that they were playing around with some roster construction stuff. I still think this team probably will be doing quite a bit more of that over the course of this season, but it is Crank starting after his week off. Numbnuts on the bench. And these two teams have played once. They played in week 1. You guys might remember it's the only game high expectations have lost so far. It was that just massively weird throw of a game they had. They were up 5,000 gold at 15 minutes. They basically rode a 5k gold lead all the way to the 25-minute mark. They had a huge Olaf in the top lane that they were trying to play through, and I shouldn't even say playthrough. It's just an Olaf in the top lane that won really hard and existed. The team did absolutely nothing to play around with, and kind of contributed them to throwing in that game. So I'm curious to see if we're going to see a really focused high expectations here, kind of coming out and trying to prove a point, or ZSA as the spicy sauce here.
Well, I mean, they're definitely focused in their bans. They're doing something very similar to what our team did against them last week. 3 AD bans against them, immediately trying to take those heaviest hitters away, because, and alternatively, we also see 2 jungle bans coming out of Asol and Asol. But so both teams very directly hitting the other team's supposed win con here, hitting the AD for ZSA and hitting the jungler really hard, and then the soul added on top of it.
Yeah, despite those jungle hits though, Splinter gonna first pick the Wukong in the jungle here for himself on the side of high expectations. Had one of the best performances of last week in my opinion, just an absolute monster of a game on that Wukong, and not gonna hesitate to pick it.
Let's go. Someone's actually playing Zeri.
Yeah, this should be exciting. We get the Zeri Annie in the bot lane for 30 and Mr. Tuesday. 30 has been playing the hell out of this Annie so far this season, picking it a lot of the times that it's been available. So excited to see this in action. I don't think I've casted 30's Annie. I think it was banned in a bunch of the games last week.
Yep, Annie sitting at the top of the solo win rate right now. Super good. And Zeri is happy with anything that can give her a shield, to be honest. So, and Annie's is one of the best right now.
Is that the sauce on the support Annie? Is it about the shield?
Yeah, you max shield because it gives move speed, it gives damage if anyone tries to touch you. Tibbers also gets the shield, and so you literally just max shield on any support. And then you basically can't lose a trade unless you take it too long, because they hit you, they take damage. You right click from super long range, they take damage. Easy game.
So I like that ban on the Olaf. Like I was mentioning earlier, Dan was just absolutely running through Crank in their week 1 matchup on that Olaf, and they should have won that game because of how the Olaf performed. It was a massive series of unfortunate events by high expectations. So they're gonna make him play something else because he's not looked as good in the other games.
Sounds like we're a little bit quiet for stream.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna keep an eye. Oh, never mind. That's Tim saying it. Tim saying it. It must be true. Tree, I think you might just be quieter than.
I could probably just move my mic closer to my face. That tends to be the difference. And we have a not Kaisa Ziggs. We got the Ziggs Classic over here out of Phoenix, and bans coming out. We got 2 top lane bans and a Zac. And what's their last pick gonna be here? Last ban, I should say.
I did just add a little extra juice onto the everything but me audio. So chat, let me know how that sounds as we go here.
And a second jungle ban. Obviously, the Zac. If I'm remembering who's on what team correctly, this is it. Cat? Or am
No, Wang.
I
It's gonna be
thinking
at
of
Wang.
wrong team? Wrong team. Okay.
But the Bong
Um,
Crank Garen is through, and the chat's going wild for it. Well, too bad. Bong Crank, it's new year, new man. He's a team player. Not going to pick his one trick. He's going to pick Shen. Potentially a denial pick. This is one of those go-to picks for the SBL bad boy, aka Dan. And they're going to really try to force that man down the pool. But that means it will be a counter pick available for the bad boy.
yeah, we'll see. Ooh, Darius. Wasn't expecting to see that out of him. And then obviously we have bot lane figured out. The Wukong's going to be jungle. Splinter going to be looking to get big. And Talia being hovered mid.
At best, this potentially going to further expand his champ pool as he does. Also, yes, I know that the overall stream is quiet. There's really not much I can do with that, unfortunately. It's just the way my system outputs, unless I want to clip every single audio source by horrifically maxing everything out, which is something I try to avoid. So it's going to be Maokai to close things out here. So interesting. As long as it's balanced, I trust all of you guys just to turn all the knobs up a ton and it not to be problematically quiet.
Okay, so this is 3 tanks, a Kaisa, and a Ziggs.
There is a lot of pressure on Risquect in this game, who's going to be playing the Kaisa. I'm happy this is Risquect's team that's drafting this comp. I will say that, you know, if this was the Tizzy Kaisa, I would be very worried about how this team would perform. But I think Risquect is going to have to be Mr. Big Time carry for this comp to work because it's just such a tanky comp.
Yep, and to be fair, I know that's their game plan. Their game plan is just like win through Risquect, which is why, I mean, you saw 3 AD bans come through from high expectations because they wanted to reduce the options there. They did choose to leave Kaisa open out of that. Obviously, he has a wide enough pool that you have to throw a bunch of stuff at him in order to actually squeeze that out. So we'll see. I mean, Kaisa can absolutely run away with a game if given the chance.
All right, Tree, so we got a few minutes on spectator delay here. Plenty of time that we could use to break things down, but I'm gonna pivot back to an old season strategy here and not talk about the game for a few minutes. Save some of the goods for when we get in the game, maybe. So Tree, because we have an actual player here, which I will not have the luxury of in the next game. Let's talk about your team, Tree. We got some time to spare.
All right.
How's your team? How's your team feeling? You guys 2 wins last week. Spirits high.
Yeah. To be honest, I would not be surprised. I know at least a couple of us, and probably a lot of our team, was expecting to end last week 0-3. So being 2-1 is different from our expectations. So at this point, who knows what to expect this
Yeah,
week?
maybe you guys should be the high expectations.
we're we're just rolling with it. I mean, obviously after last week, we're feeling way better than we were after the preseason in week 1. But
It's amazing how quickly fortunes change in the SBL,
right, and I know a bunch of teams had like huge mental issues after last week, from a lot of different angles, and like you just gotta get back at it because we're at week 3 of 6 weeks. Like you got a lot more games to play.
I will say it does kind of make me miss when like SBL like 5 to 7 range, like kind of the golden era of the SBL IMO when we had the 6 teams, when you had that 10 week just mess of a regular season, and like the amount of thought you would put into just playing one game every week, and then just 2.5 months before you even get to the playoffs. Just there was so many chances for I mean the overwhelming majority of teams to have your ups and have your downs, and I'm always so interested in seeing how humans navigate that stuff. Obviously, that's all a little more expedited in the format we have here, where you're playing 2 games every other week. But winning makes everything okay. I mean, that's true in all. That's true in every sport at every level of play.
The amount of times you'll see someone pick something super questionable or do something bad, and then at the end of the game you get to go, but we won, so it's fine. Oh, your pick or your farm or your KD or that one play, none of it mattered because we won, so easy game, right?
And the best part is like you can totally like not have been a factor in why your team won, and you get to just be like, yeah, but it worked. I'm not naming names, I'm sure. Plenty of people
now
can be
you're not
involved here.
naming names? What happened to last week?
Bro, I'm gonna. Oh, I should say this for the viewers while I have a chance. I definitely am currently nursing a bit of a cold here. This is my flu game. Tree, are you familiar with the flu game?
No.
Michael Jordan, infamously the goat of goats, as you may know him. Holy shit! Did we just load straight in? Speaking of being the goats, he played a game in the NBA Finals with the flu once, and it was like in timeouts, and when he was on the bench, they were like literally shoving an IV into his arm to keep him hydrated. And he put up like 40 points in that game because he's Michael Jordan, and that's what he does. So this is my flu game.
All right, legit.
All right,
so you don't need me, right? I'll just be quiet the whole game.
No, I still need. Okay, well I'm gonna need you to break down this level 1 because I don't have time to rearrange here because I am focusing on Will Mr. Tuesday see this coming. He's in it. Oh, he will see it coming. Gets the Warden there too. Ward will not be cleared. Everyone knows everything that's going on. Look at the bad boy up top. He moved the line forward a bit.
I was a couple seconds behind you. What
timer? I am 48, 49, 50.
Okay.
Just I think if you go all the way to live, you should be good.
Yep. All right, should be about even now.
59's 101.
Yep, perfect. Nailed it.
Love to see it. And another week of getting my hopes up for no good reason at level 1. So looking at summoners, some things worth noting. Mr. Tuesday actually taking the cleanse. That's you can't cleanse Nautilus alts, can you?
Not alt. You can cleanse the CC off his hook. You can cleanse his auto snare. You can cleanse taunt from Shen. You can cleanse 2 things from Maokai. There's plenty of stuff to cleanse here for sure.
Do you think that's like an okay pick then? I'm definitely like a little taken aback here. Yeah,
Cleanse is real good right now. You see a lot of people are taking it on AD.
So more cleanse than we're used to seeing. I'll have to keep that in my memory bank here as we head into the lane phase.
Yeah, and similarly, you're seeing exhaust on Respect instead of heal. There's just straight up no heal in bot lane because they have different plans down here.
Also, sorry, I just adjusted the vegan game volume a little bit there. Probably blasted you guys for a second there, but hopefully this sounds good. Let me know if it doesn't.
You guys don't need your ears.
Can't adjust that in my Windows volume mixer until we actually get in game, which is, you know. Oh, I should make the mini-map bigger. I should make the mini-map bigger, but Albino Joe wants to land this hook. Alright. Hot plan. 3. Gonna check the timers. Okay, we didn't miss anything in chat. Good. I'd have felt horrified. Can't ever miss the banter.
Yeah, I don't think there's been any banter yet.
Hours.
Until someone screws up.
You know Respect is going to be in there in that all chat at some point.
Probably, yeah. Oh, there's a hook.
So there we go. Just going to be a little bit of damage sticking on Tuesday, who's going to Zaire over the wall. A little bit of damage on the 30 as well. Going to not quite get the proc, but that was actually a really good trade for Respect and Albino Joe. They're playing into an anti lane, which means they can engage onto the support if they see the opportunity. That's going to be a ton of pressure for the Yo, and they did it. I didn't even think to mention this because I didn't see names earlier. As bad boy gonna take a tower shot there, nice taunt from the crank. But they did it. They forced Albino Joe to play a tank.
Yeah, I've heard you've had a vendetta against his enchanters, but I don't think enchanters are bad.
I don't have a vendetta against enchanters. The vendetta against I don't have time for vendettas because my Wang is potentially gonna give the old team Swain special. No, he's not gonna die. But in the bot lane, this is why I want him onto these tanks. Albino Joe gonna force the flash out of 30. And we'll see if they can turn that into anything.
Yeah, this trade, no, there's no way anyone dies here mid.
And I do love this. If you look at your minimap, Splinter did go scouting out to see if Wang was still around, trying to greet a camp. So good for Wang not to do that, as we saw Numbnuts get killed in a similar situation last week.
Yeah, and now so we've got Annie's flash down, so and him sitting at half health means next Nautilus hook is putting him in real dangerous territory.
Yeah, he is sitting on both of his biscuits still, but I think he wants to spend some of his mana. So we got a pretty fun game so far. Kind of a lot of trading all over the map.
Yeah, they're trying to bleed some of this CS lead in bottom with trying to get that to push back out, but they're staying dead even.
Yeah, and you could feel the respect for Splinter there. Joe wanted to be pushing that forward, but they knew, given the time of the game, that Splinter could be in the neighborhood, and there he is being pinged out on that Tribush board. As directed camera, please.
Directed camera spoiling with letting us know that nothing's going to happen bottom.
Excuse me, folks. I don't have a way to mute my mic in OBS. So I'm going to just try my best not to cough a ton.
Good luck.
Pray for me. As we got pray for the bad boy, who actually takes 5 cast their creeps worth of autos for like 5 whole seconds there. I was going to massively lose that trade. So we just see both the junglers showing up in the mid lane. Wang is going to show first. Splinter is sitting there waiting in the wings and now going to just toss the damage onto Phoenix Blaze. A barrier coming out pretty prematurely, but that's not all, because in the bot lane, big trades coming out. We're going to change targets onto 30. No flash available, but not going to be able to push it. They do get a cleanse.
Yeah, obviously we didn't see how that started. I do see that Joey's flash was on cooldown. I don't think we'd seen him actually flash, so that must have been the flash engage down there.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
To put that onto Hex Flash, so...
Here we go on the top lane. Splinter all over this map early, going to be dashed away from those. Wongkrang does get himself onto the board here at level 6. And Chenault is now available, in addition to his teleport. See some recalls in the spot lane.
Straight up dead even bot on those first backs.
Yeah, despite all of the advantages, Tuesday and 30 doing a good job of not actually conceding anything. They haven't lost any plates yet. Kaisa, Nautilus, not exactly good at pressuring towers without a major advantage. And so it's on them to find a kill here. Haven't been able to do so thus far, as we'll see. Splinter maybe going to spend a moderate amount of time here in this top lane. He's going to have to recall on the lane.
Yep, and anyone who's played against Splinter this season is well aware of those in lanes from him, and he will spend a longer than average time looking for it, but looks like he knows it's just not going to work right now.
Bro, I've seen this guy. Like do the lane gank, get the kill, and then just like go back into the bush and wait for the top laner to spawn and teleport in to kill him again because he knew they didn't have flash. Like, that man will spend his time when he's confident the play will work.
Yeah, he'll put in the time, and normal jugglers would just be sitting there like, but I could be farming, I'm losing so much, and he's just sitting there like, nah, this is 2 kills. I highly doubt we're going to see much out of mid lane until they start roaming down. If these two manage to kill each other, I don't know what's wrong.
Yeah, that barrier coming close to back up for Phoenix Blaze here, which means everything on the table in the mid lane. Just another minute here. Curious to see what the play is for Wang. I would have... maybe Wang gonna catch out Phoenix Blaze. Ziggs is in the neighborhood, gonna try to get some max range bombs up, but not quite gonna hit. And that's gonna be a flash on Phoenix Blaze. The bestest one, sorry, as well as a ghost. And I think everyone's gonna just disengage this one. All for summoners. That's, that's a win. Master Splinter coming in via a pink ward. We might see a fight break out for this Dragon. Yeah, well, Splinter is very content. This Dragon's going to be pulled, start doing some damage in the middle of this as both the bot lanes rotate over. Advantage for the Sweaty Asol to zone everyone out and ultimately do nothing.
Yeah, and Directed Camera didn't feel like showing it, but Splinter did actually flash out of that pit after jumping in.
Yeah, good catch. Yeah, I think he knew that he didn't have a great way out of that one, and that Respect and Albino Joe would get there first. Now Albino Joe's 6, so wouldn't have been in that fight, but now has obviously a lot more pressure and whatever is going to happen next. And despite everything that happened in this lane early, it's ultimately going to be meaningless. This is an even lane. Summoners are all back up. Everyone's getting to level 6 here.
Yeah, not able to capitalize on that flash from Annie being down or from Tuesday's cleanse, but oops, Splinter mid.
He's going to go in, ult on the Phoenix Blaze, and great pull back. It's going to be both Summoners blown by the Blaze here to get out with a quarter of his health remaining.
Splinter pinging his own R, letting him know when, and they're immediately going to fight Pop before I can even talk about that.
Yeah, this is so much damage. 30 flashing kind of late there, but now Kaisa going to dash in, and first blood going over to Respect that I don't think he's done. Mr. Tuesday being melted apart. Beautiful CC layering by Albino Joe, and what a bad flash, what a bad cleanse. You didn't have a chance of holding on to your life. Double kill for Respect.
Yeah, and that's the scary Kaisa ult where you think you're all out of the fight, and all of a sudden Kaisa is right there behind you with a shield.
Yeah, I mean,
continue.
It's really the ideal way to use Kaisa. Like you're not Wukong. You don't get to just like jump in there first. Like you wait for them to be on the disengage, have blown their resources, and then you go in there like a predator trying to find your kill, like Evelyn kind of like coming in to clean things up.
Yeah, and so just off of that fight, I hadn't checked the gold totals before that. I mean, they should have been very close. Because
now they're not.
Yeah, now they're very not. It's about 1,000 different in bot lane.
Yeah, that's big. Now, finally, all the plays pay off here. And I honestly wonder if 30 had just flashed earlier out of that. He was trying to hold on to the flash. I think if he'd flashed earlier, Joe and Respect might have just let him go. But the fight being engaged gave them the confidence to go for that all in there. And great job by them knowing that, even though Respect changed targets in the middle of that fight, like that they had more than enough damage to go around. Now we are going to see a dragon potentially started here, but a lot of bodies making their way towards. Bad Boy has a teleport available. Shen has an ult available. As Phoenix Blaze taking a bit of damage here, and that's going to be the Shen ult coming up. But this Shen's going to be really far out of the fight because Phoenix Blaze had to run out. Wang trying to zone, and that's going to be a kill secured onto Master Splinter. Fastest one. No flash available. Can he make it out? I think we know the answer. Wang, flash, Q, kill. 2 more kills. And maybe the Sweaty Asol just has the number of high expectations.
Yeah, I know they had gotten a lot more focused, if nothing else, in pick bans after last week. And I don't know if it's just that, but it's working. 4-0.
Yeah, much better. Did ZSA... I don't want to get this wrong. ZSA... Oh, they did win. No, wait, I'm looking at the wrong week. They played 2 games last week? No, they lost 1 game last week. They only played 1 game last week. Okay. Sorry. Checking my stats here.
Okay.
I'm hoping that didn't just tank the frame rate on League of Legends while I was tapped out.
I'm not watching the stream, so hard for me to say. But,
yeah, chat will hear me say this. Let me know. But here we go. Another hook is going to land. Maokai is in the area as well. No ult available, but it is sure as hell not going to be necessary. Wang not going to take this kill. It's a 3rd for Respect, and it is starting to feel online here for the Sweaty Asol. Gonna go finally get some plates.
Yep, and when your plan is to win through bot lane, win through your AD, 3-0 is a pretty freaking great place to start. And with Splinter, like, just not able to get any lead because none of his ganks have worked out. They're on the back foot hard right now, and down a dragon already.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 3,000 gold lead at the 13-minute mark, and I mean, the one thing that really sticks out to me is that despite all the pressure from Splinter, he didn't really have much for like traditional kind of ganks in the bot lane. early on, and that might be coming back to bite him here. I honestly, I would have loved to see him start at his blue at level 1 and path bot to top to bot and just have been constantly pressuring the bot lane, but he was not going that direction. Respect is now online, and we said in the draft, you know, there's a lot of pressure on Respect. He has to be an effective carry in this game, and he's rolling. All is going to be in his court.
Yeah, they've done everything they could to set him up. Bonkrang?
It has to flash. Interesting trade. Now he's gonna maybe try to. You gotta be careful, my Crank.
Yeah, with that Darius ult up, I mean, he had to respect.
Yeah, here we go. Talia coming in, Respect on the back line as well. And a good hook out of Albino Joe to buy some time here. Respect does have to flash. I think they're going to leave the Nautilus for that. He's going to blow his flash, but that was a waste, my friends. Master Splinter going to put himself on the board here.
And we'll see, I think... Okay, doesn't look like he has... Yeah, no.
Although Bad Boy gonna see if he can pop the Wang, but you had no health, my man. He has to immediately flash out. Just zero respect for the existence of Shen. But a huge play in the bot lane is they're actually going to take the bot turret here, forcing a trade onto the Rift Heralds.
Yeah, that turret going down just after plates fell, so it's much easier to take. And this Herald, likely they're going to be looking to do the same thing, but we'll see where they take it. They might have an easier time mid, since that's about half down, and I think a charge and then Ziggs Bomb might just kill the turret outright.
Definitely a lot of options available here. So, 2,500 is the gold lead for ZSA. So thinking, you know, if high expectations are going to start turning this game around, what's it going to look like? And I've definitely got my eyes on Splinter for obvious reasons. You know, he has been all over the map. I think he's had the best game so far, and I just don't think he's been getting much from any of his lanes. And I'm really curious to see what Bad Boy can do, as he's really the one guy who's not behind, as Best is going to pop a summoner to make sure he gets out of that one easily.
Oh, yep, and it is going to be mid. They're going to get that charge, and I think it will be in range of a Ziggs Bomb here, so this should be a dead tower once it can finally get that charge off.
Yeah, and Wang gonna try to put some pressure on the fastest one here. He's gonna knock the Talia away, though, and I think they're gonna settle just for taking the mid T1. They're gonna try to control the pressure for this dragon, get their second dragon of the game here. Respect is also pushing in bot at the same time. Wang with a little late on the recall for doing a dragon, but they have enough control that I don't know if it's gonna stop them. Do some damage sticking on a Bonkrang here. One thing to watch at Dragon Spawn here is Ziggs is just now recalling, so maybe this team is going to be a little late to the Dragon. Bonkrang has teleport and Shen ult available. Bad Boy a little over a minute before the Darius TP's up. And Splinter doing a good job. Yeah, I was saying earlier, they kind of just ceded all the control they had down here. But we'll see if a fight breaks out. It's currently only 3 members. Shen can get there. Ziggs is a ways away. They need to find some poke. Squeck needs to be careful here. He has, just stay behind. You have a lot of beef there. Stay behind them.
Yeah, Best is doing his best to just absolutely slam them with this Leandres, get as much health out of them as possible before the dragon fight.
Yeah, they do get some good poke on the Wang, and Wang's going to use the ult to just take control of the river, essentially. It's going to split the High Expectations team in 2 here. And Darius about to have his teleport available. There's been so much footsies being played here. And flank position here for Bestis and for Splinter potentially.
Yeah, they really went for it with that Maokai ult, and it didn't end up catching anyone. Good runaway there from them, but now they're in a little bit of a weird spot for this fight still going on over Dragon. Yeah, we see TP coming in behind him.
Yeah, Albino Joe taking a lot of damage here. He has to toss a pretty defensive ult. Now Shen ult's coming through as well. Bonkrang barely going to get him, and Albino Joe going to be the first to lose his life. But Bad Boy just way too hopeful on the flank there, going to die as well. It's a 1-for-1, but health bars look in favor of ZSA. They can definitely still blow this, though. But I think High Expectations might already just be choosing to give this one up. Don't want to make a mistake here. We'll see, is there anything? Splinter's nowhere near it. Can they steal this over the wall? That is a no. Second dragon for the Sweaty A-Soul.
Yeah, really unfortunate once that Maokai ult didn't pick anyone up and they were still trying to look for that fight. But it did not matter at the end because they just defend that Kai'Sa to the death and let her absolutely chunk through people.
Yeah, I absolutely did not see what happens to Darius there. I'm surprised that he walked in and did so little. I'm assuming he was selling out trying to get to the Kai'Sa and just walked into all the tanks.
Yeah, I partially missed it. He did end up in the middle. They sort of, their front line sort of came back to help with him. Joey was a bit far forward, so he was backing up just to try and take less damage, and that just ended with them all collapsing on top of Darius.
So gold lead still holding steady here. Still a lot of game to be played.
Get some pings, obviously with the second dragon down, we're not anywhere near, like these are relatively slow to be getting to our third dragon here, actually.
Yeah, that is fortunate for high expectations with how the game has gone. Zwang is going to make his way into this top lane, and Bad Boy is like really committing to this for... He was trying to buy time for Talia to get there, but he's going to just get popped in the process. Splinter is here as well, and now Wang maybe dashing in at a bad time here. As Bonkrank also turning, wants to back his boy up, but that is going to cost his a lot of his health. Both flashes blown, a 1 for 0, but I think they're going to lose this tower for it as Ziggs is coming up, going to try to look for the snipe. Oh, this is going to be close.
Yeah, they'll live through it. Looks like they will maybe get this turret as well. Wang's coming back in.
Yeah, he's trying to fight this with his boy. Oh, Shen has an ult. Obviously, Shen has an ult. Shen has a taunt. Shen has a kill.
Good play from ZSA. They're like, yeah, you could get the turret, but we're going to take another life for it.
I love this Respect and Albano Joe just sitting here, being seen. But I like the attempt. But this should be top tower taken here for ZSA as the snowball keeps on a-rolling.
I don't remember the stats on it. There is an item to reduce shields. I don't know if it's viable for any of them to pick up, but someone might just have to force it? I don't know. I'd have to look deeper into that, but it's an option.
Well, high expectations if you're listening.
Need more power.
And now Kai'Sa just slowly walking away with this lead. Almost 30 CS up, still has those 3 kills. Squacked and Wang holding both a 300-ish gold bounty apiece.
Squack's gonna see if he can get a pop on the Zeri here, though. Kai'Sa coming out of stealth, laying the autos down, getting the prop, getting the ult. A teleport is coming in behind. This is gonna be very committal. A flash, an auto, and a kill, but now can Respect find his way out. He is very far from that Shen, but a beautiful hook from Albano Joe. Respect knows he's gonna die, but a great stopwatch from the bestest one. On the other side, Bad Boy engages just to lose all of his health, and now finally ZSA on the retreat. I think both teams going to have to opt out of this one, a 1-for-1. The ADC's traded here. But shutdown gold over to match their Splinter.
Yeah, obviously a lot more money there. Really good play out of Respect, like just using every button available to him to get that kill, but then he's left with no way out.
Yeah, interesting choice there. So we got 35 seconds here on the Dragon. Everyone back online. Shen does still have the ult available as Bonkrank used the teleports in that last fight. Meanwhile, all 5 members of High Expectations are in the neighborhood. No teleport for the Bad Boy as he just used it. And so we'll see if there's any pressure as well. Ruko really taking a late back here. they're really confident that ZSA aren't going to start this, even though ZSA have control of the river. And we'll see here. This has been a problem for ZSA this game. I feel like they haven't started some of these things super early. They've wanted to play footsies, but they're posturing like they're going to start this right away. And there we go. Wang is pulling the dragon out. So keep an eye on, we got Talia on the flank here, trying to look for a big ult. Wukong still not in the neighborhood. And they might be able to pop this before Splinter can get close unless a fight breaks out. Just stay committed. Here we go. Splinter flashing in. Splinter stealing, but they're going to lose 30 in the process. How will this fight go? So many low health bars on the side of high expectations despite getting that dragon. I think they are going to be cleaned up like spilled milk here. Bonkrank under no threat whatsoever. A 0 for 3, and I think they can make it more. They're setting up for the dive. Respecto, what are you doing? You monkey, you mongoloid, you absolute buffoon had no reason to die there. His team's going to take the tower. Now, Bonkrank, I'm getting scared. Okay, Bonkrank's going to get the Talia. A 1 for 4. Dragon taken in the chaos by high expectations, and with Respect down, not really any threat of anything else being taken.
Holy crap. Yeah, that fight got real chaotic real fast. Splinter managed to sneak in there and get that Dragon Steal, which is at least going to massively slow this game from having a Dragon Soul and or Elder even. Like, we are so far off from either of those happening.
Yeah, Splinter made it in the absolute nick of time. He's going to be watching this replay back, telling me how calculated it was that he knew he'd get there just in time to smite. Not a second sooner. Jungler arrives exactly when he means to. But big for keeping this game alive. But my God, is Wang just having an incredible game here. I feel like we haven't been able to talk about him enough. I mean, so many of these fights, it's been the Maokai that's been creating the setups. And Wang 5-0 and 5. He's kind of taking the lead as the most valuable player on this team, despite the big start that Respect had.
Yeah, he's just been picking up the occasional kill through all these fights over time, and now after enough fights, you're just staring at a deathless, huge ass fucking tree.
Now we're gonna have a Baron-centric game here, I think, because it'll be a long time. I think we have a lot of game left as this gold lead is up to 4K, but it's remained mostly steady for quite a while now.
Yeah, it just walks into the bush.
Yeah, Bad Boy, not a lot of respect. He does have a flash. He's going to use it.
I was wondering if Kai'Sa was going to ult after that. I would not have been advised, but
yeah, no vision in there. I think Respect has been a little too trigger happy, although maybe Wang, yeah, he's not even fucking around here. He's immediately flashing out. I like that. No, I think Respect knows he's been a little too trigger happy in these last few fights. I think he knows he can take it a little slower. You've got these tanks, let them set up, and now can they bait the Bad Boy in? The Bad Boy being ulted upon. Oh, great positioning out of Respect. He's gonna pop that exhaust, but by God, is Darius fast.
Yeah, so that was interesting. And as I've tried to talk about it,
yeah, we're not done. Best this one under some pressure here, but some very interesting flank lines being drawn out here. A beautiful ult from the Maokai. Tibbers has to come out very passively there just to let his team walk out.
And just
oh, they're starting Baron. They know they chunked so many people out. They want to force the issue here. Will they be using this to try and turn for the fight? They get the clone with the taunt. Baron's still being chipped away at here as we've got 4K on Baron. I don't know if high expectations can make it in here. It doesn't look like they can. Best is one going to go in for a miracle, but 17 health, but 17 is enough. Wang going to get the secure, but at what cost? These are some low health bars. 2 down. The bot lane is already dead. Bonkrank going to be the next to follow. Phoenix plays. Oh my God, this is going to be an ace. High expectations is going to ace them. Oh, Phoenix plays!
Just barely making himself survive, but Wang is definitely going to go down here. It's just a matter of time. Splinter snatches it last second. He's like, okay, I'm back. Give me that 800 gold.
Really huge fight there. The Baron debuff, the Baron damage just slightly too much for ZSA, and Phoenix plays making a really careful play there to hold on to this game. And 1 copy of the Baron buff, as we've got 37 seconds and counting till our next dragon here. Wang will be alive with a few seconds to spare, and I think we're about to see another 5. What a fucking crazy game.
Yeah, holy crap. That Baron fight split into almost 3 different zones as it went on. Like, ZSA tried to go out in front of it and prevent them from even getting in, but they weren't able to do that. They did get into the Baron. It was at 17 health.
17 health, man. My body just stopped. Like, now that I've jungled, the amount of just anxiety I feel and the way time stops in those moments, as Bad Boy is gonna respect the Shen push here. So here we go. He's gonna back and immediately teleport. I didn't see what he bought there, as this dragon is going down fast. The fight's breaking out. Shen, you needed to have been in a while ago, because Master Splinter does not miss. And now there is so much damage going on. Albino Joe gonna be the first to fall here, as we do see some good damage coming out of the Kai'Sa. Wang gonna steal the kill, but respected all the work. Looking to see if there's any way to go forward here. And it's going to be a 1-for-1, and there we go. Wang going in by himself, being a tanky tree. And now getting some back from the team. Wang knows exactly how much of his health to play with this respect. Oh, John!
Yeah. So, Wang got sort of forced in on that one. Vestas decided to Talia him forward into them. They must have thought they could turn and kill him because he was so far ahead, but he has enough items. He just survived through it long enough for his team to re-show up.
This is absolute clownery. And we're not even, like, nothing has happened to accelerate the pace of this game. This is going to be a long one. 20 seconds left. This Phoenix really wants to crash at least one Baron wave here, but Splinter is rightfully not letting that happen.
Yeah, we just saw 2 different neutral objectives. Gold has barely moved. Splinter has stolen both of his team's dragons that they've managed to get.
And it's really interesting to see what this does to the mental for ZSA, because, like, if you missed, like, all of those, oh, well, best this one, I don't know if that was necessary.
I know I've seen Talia use her ult a lot to get there, even during, like, I think pro play, like, just to get there in time, because in order to really use it effectively otherwise, you have to be from the side, and it takes so long to set up.
Well, regardless, curious to see what the macro looks like for ZSA here, because whether it's affecting Wang or not to lose those smites in a row, as wait a second, Talia, maybe, oh, a beautiful stopwatch there, actually, and now this is a 2v4. Respect, you are very cornered. No, Shen's gonna make it in. The shield, was that just enough, Tuesday? Oh, they do get back, and Wang and Phoenix Blaze were nowhere near this one. It's actually going to be a 0-4-3 double onto the Bad Boys. Tuesday's gonna walk out with a sliver of health here. And will we finally see some towers fall, or can Ziggs do some magic?
I don't know if that was a purpose bait into the Zonias, or if that just worked out that well, but, like, holy crap, that was perfect.
Yeah,
and
great play from the...
say that, he dies. Oh, executed. Doesn't matter. Also perfect. Also
okay.
perfect. We take executes. Those don't count.
Probably gonna be the difference between taking that tower or not taking that tower, unfortunately, or high expectations. They're clawing their way into this game.
Yeah, this gold graph after the game is gonna be interesting to watch it just hover on these same values for so long. It is slowly coming down after that last one. We're just under 2k lead right now, but after that last bait, it did not look like that.
Jungler's gonna walk into each other, but not fight. So we got a minute 40 on Dragon here. I will make a bold prediction, but I actually don't think these teams are gonna fight before that.
You don't think they'll go over the Baron in 50?
Like, I'm not ruling out best this one just teleporting to a ward in the enemy jungle trying to get a solo kill, given how everything's gone in this game, but I do think we're gonna see them set up for the Dragon.
These fights are absolutely wild. It's a good thing we can zoom out far.
Yeah, you all don't know, like, how much harder League of Legends casting is in 2023 than it was in 2013. It used to just be 10 people, and they all ran to each other with a front line and a back line, and the team with better damage deathballed harder and won. And now you're watching flanks, you're watching mini-maps, you're watching multiple teleports. But it is.
Speaking of teleports, Crank ult is up. We do have all three TPs are up. Just a lot of positioning around the objectives right now. Baron is up, Dragon in 30.
See potentially a reset from Albino Joe here again. This is
They're
Wang's flashing forward here. Yeah, Albino's going to cancel that recall big. Nice Maokai Albino. A lot of time that A's going to go down. A tilted Tibbers coming through. Wang doing so much zoning here, but Respect is actually being engaged on a great flash. How can he get the autos? He's going to just barely get the kill on the Master Splitter, and Wang has done so much disruption on the far side of this fight. This is a massive fight win here for Zed's sweaty A-Soul, and you have to think that this will be their dragon this time, right?
So I can't help but notice Darius didn't TP, so that was just a 4v5 fight that they lost hard.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
I have to wonder, was that on purpose? Was he not, like...
I wonder if they thought the fight was already lost because it started with 30 kind of getting picked there, and they just weren't in position to bail out. But Darius, he's coming and he's not seen. Oh, well, now they know someone's there. Splinter.
I mean, what's he gonna do? He's not gonna get Baron.
I don't know. The last time in here it was a disaster. What will the bad boy do? That is the million-dollar question. Can he buy even a second? No, he cannot. Wang misses the smite. Not gonna matter. Second Baron of the game, and this time it is going to ZSA.
Man. Back to that 4K gold lead. And I mean, since he didn't TP down, he did manage to get that second tier top, but now you're looking at actually second mid is almost down as well. I didn't even notice that. ZSA has a very low tower. That one's basically not even real.
Yeah, from that fight, that skirmish earlier in the mid lane that they just weren't quite able to take. So the interesting thing here, Channel back up now. So we'll see what kind of setup does ZSA go for with this Baron. We've still got a few minutes remaining as they want to go onto Tuesday.
Yep, we got both the top laners splitting and everyone else is hanging around in mid. No surprise there, and they're gonna try and defend this.
Yeah, Bad Boy has to teleport. He wanted the base race, but actually a huge chunky onto Albino Joe here. That is gonna force the Shen ult, and they're gonna just turn and fight. They feel good. Shen with a double taunt onto the backline. Splitter is so far from this fight as Phoenix blaze it! As Albino Joe uses every sliver of his health as a resource. Now Master Splitter has to stopwatch before losing his life. Respect whiffs the W. Who cares? No health remaining. 2 down on the side of high expectations. And I think we're going to finally see some Baron damage done to this base.
And I mean, they're giving it their all. High expectations, trying their damnedest to win these fights, but like these like kill numbers are just too concentrated on tanks, and Kaisen has 10 of them.
That's a lot. That's a lot of kills. It's a lot of damage.
He too, so he's aware.
Team's inhibitor has been destroyed.
They're using this Baron, pushing in the second inhib. They should be able to pick it up. Talia's still going to be down.
Yeah, we'll see. Albino Joe is far, so maybe a desperation fight, but good call from the ZSA, I think, to just take the tower and then back out. Use the Baron recalls to piece out of there. And you kind of have the whole easy playbook available to you here to kind of start closing this one out.
Man, that tank line, and two of them have Radiant Virtue for extra healing throughout the fight after the ult is down. Just, there's so much health to get through.
Yeah, and you saw, ooh, are we going to see Respect going to try to go for the pop here? I don't think anything's going to happen. But Wang actually maybe being caught out for once. He's going to have his flash available in just a second here, as I think the Shen is going to make it in, being knocked up. Does he give a damn? Wang, it's taking so long, but this tree will be chopped down. Wang gonna ult just to save Crank's life here. And now the bad boy. Oh, your team has the advantage, Stan. You don't have to do it. Okay, he's gonna flash out. We are in an awkward spot here. This could actually be huge because this is going to be a massive stagger on these deaths. Respect, going to have to try to turn and get a kill. Oh my god, he's so good. Knows exactly when to turn. But Bad Boy, no! Bad Boy has to be ulted out by Kai'Sa, and Kai'Sa does not get him down there? What?
I can't believe Respect didn't get either of those kills.
Oh man. Oh, and Phoenix Blade is going to get more staggering, and now Respect also going to be staggered, not going to get the Bad Boy. What? The fiesta continues.
Oh my. If anyone's curious what just the most chaotic team fights possible look like, this is it. These skirmishes go so wide and end so much later than I think they're going to every time.
I didn't even like watch that last fight for the first half of the fight. I was just looking at the health bars on the sides of the screen for Bad Boy and Respect, waiting to see who killed who, and the answer was no. We do see posturing around Dragon here. It's still 10 seconds on Respect, so like it's a 4v4, but I think Respect is maybe a more important member than Best this year. And yeah, they're gonna give this, so 3 dragons apiece, 3 clouds.
And when I said it was gonna be a while till Dragon Soul, I was not expecting it to be the 7th at 40 minutes. But that's where we're at.
Yeah, and one big thing here with everything that's happened lately, this mid inhib's not that far from respawning, which will alleviate a lot of the pressure that high expectations are under. Their base is cracked, but ZSA never quite got to that second one, although they do have a really nice setup here around Baron. I wonder if they're going to start it or not.
They're bush baiting in the top.
Oh, they want to see if they can catch somebody roaming for vision here. Will it happen? Talia recalling. Best is always knows, like no one's doing shit. He's gonna recall every time. At 30, gonna ward over, but 30. Oh, Respect is gonna take it. 30's not gonna get the flash over the wall, and 30 is going to lose his life as a result. 0 and 6 on that Annie.
Yeah, and the flash not actually getting any walls between him and Respect, so he just gets deleted by the 10 kill, now 11 Kai'Sa.
Yeah, Bad Boy's pretty far from this one. I think they're gonna, yeah, they're gonna just have to give this. Not even gonna try to contest our 3rd Baron of the game. So we're gonna be going deep into the 40s on this one. Boncrank's gonna recall. He can join his team with either method. As Bad Boy is gonna try to set anything up here.
Yeah, and now they're pushing down top, looking to grab this inhib. I think mid inhib is literally about to respawn for them. So, and they're engaging.
Yeah, Wang wants to put his foot on their throat. A beautiful Maokai ult is going to hit across this entire team. Respect just getting his damage down. Actually, not being peeled for a ton here. And Master Splinter will be able to kill the Kai'Sa. And this is actually still kind of a close fight. 3 members down here. And I don't think they peeled hard enough for the Kai'Sa. Now Phoenix plays a Boncrank on the retreat here, trying to get some pot shots out. It's a 2 for 3. But if you thought this game was going to end just yet, well, that was foolish of you.
We're going long.
I don't know what the longest game has been thus far this season, but I think this game is going to be it.
Holy crap. Part of me wanted to see Zeri run them down with all those stacks from her ult she would have had built up after that fight, but into a Shen and it just gets real scary. I wonder how far off he is after that fight on his final item, because Kai'Sa's been full build for a while.
Yeah, I'm curious. I was just gonna say I want to see if they're gonna collapse on the Boncrank here. He is way too deep, and now he's going to be, I think, yeah, scouted up by that blue. He's trying to recall. He needed to channel the teleport. This could be a massive pick here. Boncrank is gonna just try to. No! You never flash there. You're going to die regardless. This is why you're the example when we talk about a bad player making a bad play.
Oh, that feels awful. That the the perfect plant to scout him out there, that they thought he was down there, but they got the perfect info that he hadn't left yet, and he just gets collapsed on.
Yeah, fortunately for him, no Baron, no Dragon alive. They're not. All that's going to change is like his team can't set up pressure now, but they're not going to lose any core objective. It's just going to extend this game even further.
So Dragon up in a minute. Team's pinging it. They're very concerned. Everyone wants that Cloud Drake. I mean, that's going to be so much extra move speed. I think I saw in all the different graphs and stuff that people were posting on OPGG or whatever earlier today that Cloud Drake is technically the most winning soul, but I don't think that's what's going to decide this game. It's a soul, and they're going to fight about it.
I mean, no one can lose if they have 4 of the same dragon, right? That's kind of like a prophecy at that point. So we do, for once, we see teams getting here with some time to spare and a posture for the River. So River currently controlled by ZSA. Can they maintain it? That's a nice little bit of respect. Are you fucking insane? What are you fucking thinking? Oh, you think Shen can save you? Well, you're dead. Your support is dead. Absolute brain dead decision making from the supposed best player on the team. You never take that. You never take that.
Oh my god, and Bad Boy working to keep them away as they do get this soul. 4 of the same dragon, that's tons of movement speed. Shen's just trying to get something top lane, but he's not going to end the game here.
No, good choice from Blancrank to go take. I'm like in awe. My adrenaline is pumping with just anger. Oh, but this is what happens when you let people that used to play tanks play 80 carries. They think they can do shit like that. I cannot.
I need to know what their vision looked like at that moment. Because obviously he must have thought.
Do you want to rewind and see if you can see anything there? I'll watch live because I'm actually curious, and this is like a game altering. Like, this is the most impactful thing that's maybe happened in the 46 minutes of this game.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to Blancrank, by the way, who has the Watchful Wardstone currently.
Oh, been up forever?
No, he's he's a tank with, or a top laner with the support item.
Oh. Yep. Really looking for that site.
he knows his role, so in him about to respawn here. Did you see anything insightful?
I'm looking right now. I mean, they had sight on 3 of them, and one was in the bottom tri-bush.
Alright, well, we're maybe about to have a fight break out as everyone is posturing around this mid lane. 35 seconds on the Baron recall, and 30 gonna pop the speed, but everyone's gonna be out of range here. Nothing quite gonna happen, although the push is coming. Finally, that mid tier 2 is gonna go down. As Blancrank, I think he's scared to push past there given what happened to him before, and good on him. He is going to recall, maybe going to recall, not going to recall.
I am speeding back to get this caught up.
You can just click to the...
Yeah, I clicked forward and then sped up for the rest of it, so I should be live now.
We're 47, 11, 12, 13. Baron has been started here. And, you know, this is 47 minutes in. This Baron's going down fast. I don't think that High Expectations given here time to contest it. They do not. And that is the 4th Baron Nasher of the game.
Yeah, like someone said in chat, you're supposed to take the same amount of Barons as Dragons, right? Or in ZSA's case, more Barons than you got Dragons.
No, that's fine because they gave up one of they had one of those Barons stolen from them, so it's 3 Barons, 3 Dragons.
Oh, true. Yeah, so that's even.
Oh.
So at the rate this is going, we're looking at in 3 minutes at Elder Dragon to finish this off.
Yeah, if we get there, and I mean, we're now at the point where, I mean, everyone's approaching their full builds. Some of those builds including more support items than average. I mean, Tree, as we approach level 18, as we approach 6 items, like who do you think is outscaling here? It doesn't even matter.
Oh, I don't know that it's scaling. Like, they have the damage at this point. A lot of it comes down to who they can get onto, for both teams, who they can get the damage onto, like, in time. Because, like, obviously, Kaisa hasn't been getting stronger, but Zeri's just been catching up to her. So both these ADs are a big problem right now. Ziggs 5-0, but he's not going to be doing burst damage in these fights.
Yeah, I do watch. Splitter is really aggressively trying to get this flank here. If they can get a pop before a Shen ult can come in, it could be really impactful. And you see so much respect given here by ZSA in this mid lane. I honestly don't think they should have been stepping in the base. They should wait for Blomcrank to finish setting up. But Wang is not feeling the same. Splitter is on the flank, unaccounted for. And now Wang being chunked, they have to go. But Splitter is on the back line. Respect is taking some damage. But on the front line, Wang is doing so much. And Respect is not going down the back. Bad Boy going to fall. Wang is going to lose his life on the other side. But that is a worthwhile trade as we see a 4 versus 4. It's just tanks that are down. Oh, that hook is just barely going to whip, but that's going to be an inhibitor taken here. They're going to pivot over, take the seconds. Oh, man. And now I think there's only one tower actually, so maybe they will try to end. And here we go. Damage coming out. Blomcrank a little too far ahead of his team here. And now Albino Joe going to go down as well. And if you thought this game was close to over, my friends, you have not been watching. Phoenix play. He's going to have to bomb himself out. Managed to split and try to chase, but I think the carries escaped here. But Best is one at least going to force that flash. And we have crossed the 50-minute mark. Chat, if you know if it's the first time this season, I would love for you to let me know. I believe it is, but
I think it is. Also, shout out to Phoenix Blaze for managing to have 0 deaths in a 50-minute game.
Yeah, and it really just shows that he's doing the SBL Ziggs thing. Really, I mean, he is SBL Ziggs, like, and he's doing that really well. Respect is obviously the carry that's playing a lot further forward in these fights, and so it's really letting Phoenix Blaze kind of shine here, just put out the damage on some of these longer fights, putting out just lots of bombing. But we've got 15 seconds to go here. Blomcrank does have both of his get-ins available. Bad Boy, we got a double teleport coming in here, 2 different spots.
Yeah, they're here, they're set up. There are a few places where items are still being built, actually. I see Talia isn't done.
Blomcrank sold the Ward Stone.
He did sell the Ward Stone. Needed those better items for these fights.
I love how Bad Boy's positioning, though. He knows if you can just zone people out, it matters. And are they going to be able to get a pick onto him? Albino Joe is in deep, but he is going to lose his life. Tuesday as legendary, and man, this feels so dangerous. But I love the decision from Respect. Get onto the flank, away from the enemy danger. Now Bad Boy flashing out. Respect going forward, doing a great job picking apart, and now he can collapse back to his team. Gets onto the Talia. It is a 1 for 3 so far, and Master Splinter and Mr. Tuesday are the last remaining members. Can they finally put us out of our misery here? Master Splinter does get out. He's gonna try to go for a steal. He can blast cone in. He has stolen objectives more than once this game, but it's gonna be too early. Not enough. Guardian Angel, though. Mr. Tuesday coming in, but he is going to be executed. Kaisa survived the void. She can survive you. Master Splinter, the final to fall. And 52 minutes in, it's going to be the 1-4-5. Beautiful play from Respect's Kaisa on that last fight. And Zed's sweaty asshole are finally going to win this game.
52 minutes. So many Barons and Dragons, and we finally Elder closes it out. When I said in pre-lobby before the stream went live, make it a good one to watch, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, that was a game. I don't even know where to start with my thoughts on that game. But they do it. Let's take one peek at the damage charts here. Everyone wants to see it. Lots of damage dealt. That's the story of this game. Lots of damage dealt.
That is the story. At 52 minutes, you have a lot of time to deal damage.
Oh, I need a break, and so do High Expectations, I imagine. But unfortunately for them, they have to go straight back in the game here against Tizzy and the Smash Brothers, coming off their second loss of the season here and try to turn things around. So stay tuned, my friends. We'll be back in a few minutes. I hope we'll see you. We got Tizzy and the Smash Brothers versus High Expectations coming up in just a few minutes. Stay tuned.